Hi guys, today we're back in the garden. I'm going to continue prepping the garden for the summer season, for the 2024 season. So the first step I'm going to continue with is filling out all the manure patches in the garden, because I already have the two over here. I will show you, but I still have to do one more, so let me show you what we still have to fill in. Okay, so as I showed you in the garden tour, oh, there you see my shadow. So we have this big bed right here that's already filled out. My dad started filling out this one, but as you can see, there are some bare patches that I still want to fill in. All the manure will get tilled into the ground, so the grass that's in between will also get tilled in. The reason that I till my garden, I know there are some fans of it, there are some people who are not a fan of it, but the reason I till my garden is because we have extremely compacted soil here. We did some, when we put the pond into our garden, we dumped all of the ground here, and so we drove on this piece of land with some machinery, so the ground is extremely hard, so I have to till because otherwise nothing would grow. So yeah, last year I tilled, this year I will till again. Next year I will see what the ground looks like. If it's not necessary, I'm not gonna do it because it's a lot of work, but for now I will still till it in, and so the grass that's in between will also get tilled in, and then I'll be able to take out the grass with the roots so it doesn't grow back. But so over here, my dad started. Here I have my big bins of manure. These are the bins that we carry our manure in. And so this patch right here is where I'm going to plant my peppers. Still has to get done, and then inside of the, we have a lot of wind today, inside of the little greenhouse also still has to get filled out. I'm not gonna go in right now because we have a lot of wind and I'm a little scared if I open the door some things will break. But so anyway, that's the manure that I got last time, so I'm going to put that already over there. I'm going to start filling that one out. If it's filled out, I'm going to start on this one, and then today we are hauling another, I think both of these full and that one full as well. That's just like a feed bin. I think it's like 60 liters or something. It's quite, or 90 liters maybe, I don't know, it's really big. So yeah, I'm going to do that right now and I'll show you guys.
My father told me I was timid child. At school.
Okay, so I just spread out the manure that I had in the garden. Looks like I will have to do a little more spreading over there. I will show you in a second, but I wanted to show you guys how my strawberries did with the snow that we got, because as you can see, all of our snow disappeared overnight. It stayed for about 4 days, but now it all disappeared in one night, so it's a little soggy here and there, but my strawberries were covered for 4 days in snow. It looks like most of them are looking all right. This one looks a little bit sad, but I think it will be fine. These are looking great. This one, not sure. The leaves are a little bit crusty, so I think I'm not very hopeful, but I will be, when I start my seeds indoors, I think I'm going to be sowing some strawberry seeds, because as you can see, this one's also, yeah, totally dead. So I'm gonna be sowing some strawberries in here. One of my plants here died. This one, maybe I will sow like one seed over there or something, I'm not sure. Okay, let me show you what the garden looks like right now. I filled out this part right here, and then I have the bed over there, and then over there the places where I'm going to put my trellis for the beans, the cucumelons, cucumbers, and then also next to it I will put my zucchinis. Alright, so Now I'm going to take you along to the barn where our horses are boarded, because that's where we actually get this manure. So I'm going to take you along, show you where we get the manure, and also introduce you to the horses. So see you in a second. All right, I hope everyone can hear me because there's a lot of wind, but I wanted to show you real quickly. These are my horses. This is Jenny. Jenny, stop. This is Atrevida. They are both Spanish horses, and so they are the horses that produce the manure that I end up putting in my garden. As you can see, the stables are very dirty right now because they are supposed to get cleaned up tomorrow. And they're very interested because I'm holding the carrots. Right, that's one, two. So yeah, these are the ladies that produce, well, among the other horses that are here, of course, but they produce the manure that I put in my garden. So there are about, I want to say, 50 horses that are boarded like them, and then there are, I think, 20 to 30 horses that belong to the barn here for people who don't own a horse, so they can also ride. But so yeah, we are actually going to move the ladies coming weekend, so end of January we are moving them, because they over here, because there are this many horses, there aren't that many fields. They really don't get the opportunity to go out enough, in my opinion. So that's why I decided to move them where there are the fields. I decided to move them to a place where they will have more opportunities to go out on the field. Hey. So yeah, that's the horses. Now you guys know those as well. I will show you the manure pile in a little bit where we get the manure, and then I will show you when we get home the spreading again. Alright, see you there. Alright everyone, I'm a little red because I just rode my horse and I cleaned everything up, but I just wanted to show you, this is the manure pile. It is huge. So yeah, this is where we get the manure from our horses. Yeah, my dad already passed by and got some manure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to show you, but yeah, over there he took out some manure with as little straw as possible, because I feel like it's a little more effective to have more manure and less straw to haul up and down. So yeah, I think this was either the last batch that we needed, or maybe we need one more. I will see when I get home. But so yeah, my dad was first. He already took care of everything while I took care of the horses. So I'm now going to head back home, and I will show you what it looks like when I spread it, and we're going to see together if we need another haul. I think we will, but I'm not sure when we're gonna get it, so we'll see, and I'll see you when I get home. All right, it's now a few days later. We went and got 2 more loads of manure to put in the garden, and I think we're going to be good right now. So I finished the pepper bed right here, and so now I still have about half a load of manure left, which I'm going to put in my greenhouse. This is my greenhouse, and there's a lot of wind today, so I hope you can hear me. But so before I'm going to put any manure in here, I have decided that I'm going to take these weeds out. I have no idea what this is, but it's spreading like crazy, so I have a feeling it's got some underground tubers going, which makes it spread all throughout. So before I put any amendments on the ground here, I'm going to quickly pull those out, and hopefully they will stay away for a while. So yeah, this is now the progress in the garden. The pepper bed is all the way covered, and I did extend it a little bit more than last year. So last year this bed came to, I want to say, not like about a foot away from the tree here. So I did extend it quite a bit this year because I'm afraid otherwise I won't have enough space for my peppers, because I would prefer to keep them all contained in this part of the bed. So yeah, now all the in-ground gardens are covered. I still have some manure left over here, and I have the 2 yellow tubs. They are still at the front of the house over there. Those are both halfway full as well. So I'm going to start by weeding this, and then I will put the manure, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I have finished spreading the manure right now. I did decide, as I showed you earlier, to take out all the weeds since I was weeding anyway, and I fed them to the chickens, because of course it's not a good idea to throw your weeds in your compost, because then anytime you use the compost the weeds will come back. So now I am thinking, since there is no rainfall in here, Pedro, don't eat the manure. Since there's no rainfall in here, I think I'm going to go ahead and till this already, so that it's just ready to go for the tomatoes. That's for April, because it's not going to rain here anyway, which means that the liquids that, like, if there falls water, if water falls over here, the water goes through the manure, takes some of the nutrients and soaks it into the ground, which is a big part of why I actually leave it like this, because as you can see, this was freshly spread over here, but this over here has been laying for a few weeks now. I think it's gonna be probably 6 to 8 weeks, and as you can see, it's already starting to decompose. So as you can see, the only thing that's left right now are little bits and pieces of hay, which the horses ate, but all of the actual nutrients already soaked into the ground. You see, so this is why I usually leave it. But of course, in the greenhouse, in the tunnel over here, there is no rain. So I think it's gonna be best to just till it into the ground, so the nutrients are in the ground, and then the insects can start to decompose everything. So I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to grab my tiller, and I'm going to see if I can manage to do this myself, or if I need help of someone stronger, because it's quite a powerful machine. But this right here is the tiller, so I'm going to see if I can get this out of here without everything falling over. I just finished up tilling the greenhouse slash high tunnel, and this is what it looks like. So as you can see, the manure is in most places tilled very well into the ground, except for, of course, the places where the greenhouse structure runs, because there's a bar that runs over the ground, so obviously I can't till there, but that's fine. I'm not going to plant there anyway, so it can stay. Maybe in the summer I will do a little cleanup, but for now it's fine. So the ground where I will actually plant is tilled. So as you can see, there's soil and manure all nicely mixed, finely mixed. So yeah, this is ready to go. So I think the last thing I'm going to do is actually water this, to really have the nutrients going to the ground, to settle everything, and then I will close it up until it's time to get plants out here. I do usually use this structure as well. Well, usually. Last year I used it as well for the hardening off of my seedlings. So what I would do, the seedlings that had to go into the cold weather, I would just put in here during the day, take in during the night for a few days, then leave them in here for a few days, day and night, and then they could go out into the garden. So yeah, but anyway, this is ready to go. I don't have to worry about it anymore. So yeah, the only thing that I'm seeing is that these things are not attached, and I think that's probably one of the causes that this thing is moving so much. So I'm going to attach everything and then we will go outside, and I'm actually going to try to see if I can start tilling back there, see how it goes, because we did have some rain the last few days. As you can see on the ground here, it's quite wet. So I'm gonna see if I manage to till in the ground over there. We'll see. If it's too wet, it just becomes like a really muddy situation, so then I can't do it, but I will try and I will let you know how it goes.
My father told me I was timid child. At the school they said I had no style. I was dreaming to be those cookies, but I can't afford my whole teenage life. Now I've been many places all these years. I used to cry overnight, but now I'm not gonna fit. I guess the star to show me where I go, just like a new you were. And I'm flurrying sounds and sounds and smiles.
Okay, so I just made my first pass up and down. I think you can see the difference pretty well between that one and this one. I'm going to take a break right now because it's already 1:30. I don't know if it's the same with you guys, but when I'm working in the garden I always forget the time, and then suddenly we are 2 or 3 hours further. So I'm gonna go take a quick break for lunch and then I will be back, because the ground is actually surprisingly dry underneath. Like, it's still a little muddy, but it's definitely doable. So I will be finishing this today, I think. See you after lunch. Alright, I just finished lunch. I gave the rest to the chickens. They are loving it. And I'm now getting ready to finish up with the tilling of the garden. It's currently 2 p.m. I'm gonna see how long this takes me. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I am out of fuel. So the machine stopped right there. So I went to go look for some fuel. Luckily we had some left in the garage and I didn't have to go to a gas station. Now I do hope this is the right fuel. My brother said it's just normal gas and it's not the one for chainsaws, so let's hope for the best. What I wanted to show you all is that I practically finished today's work on the left bed. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be very clear, but I extended the bed on both sides. So over here, about my finger's width, right, this bit I added, and then over here basically everything on the right of my hand, if it wants to focus, over there, the whole strip, I also added. Now I'm not really planning on extending the planting part of the bed, but what my intention here is that basically the grass will be further away from the plants that I will plant here in the middle where I have the manure, and hopefully the weed control will be a little bit better, because the grass is really the biggest weed that I have in my garden. It's everywhere, and it helps slugs getting on the plants. So basically what happened last year, I had my green beans over here, right here where the machine is standing, and so the grass came right up to the plant, but it was higher than the actual plant itself. It was like 30 centimeters high, and so the slugs, because I put like the slug control thing, it's this thing right here, I put that on the ground, and so they could just surpass my barrier over the grass. So the plan is to extend the bed over there as well as the bed here. Over there it's not as bad, so I'm just going to leave the width of the manure, because I also don't want to risk hitting the roots of the trees over here. So yeah, this one right here, this tree is very high, but I'm afraid it's not going to bear any fruit. We had a tree, an actual tree here, but the tree died, and at the bottom it made like a side shoot over here. But we had like a gardener come over who is going to handle this tree for us, and he said, yeah, probably it's not going to bear any fruit because it's just a side shoot and it's not going to be able to support any fruit. So we're going to give it probably a few months, maybe like the next season, and if it doesn't bear any fruit, we're going to take it out and replace it with another one. Same for the apple tree. Well, the apple tree is actually fine, but it got very high last year, just like this pear tree. This is a pear tree, and as you can see, this middle main branch gets very high. So this happened as well to our apple tree last year, but the apple tree decided to bear all of its fruits right on the top over there, and so because of the weight of the apples, the top of the tree broke. So our main branch broke. So yeah, we don't really know what it's going to do for us this year. The only other big branch that we currently have is this one, which is also, yeah, it's not really growing the way we want it. So if it doesn't grow the way we want, and if it doesn't bear fruit the way we want this year, we will also replace that one. Besides that, we have our two cherries who do actually pretty well. And then here I have my peach tree. Now, we are not a country where peach trees are very common. I don't think I will get a whole lot of peaches from this, but you know, if I even can get one, it's fine. But when the tree was very small, it got a disease. It was a leaf curl, I think is what it's called. So the leaves like crumpled up, and so basically it stomped the tree in its growth. And the tree had two main branches, this one over here and this one, which at the time was the same size. But so this one died, like, yeah, the main stem right here survived, but the majority of this half of the tree is basically dead. It now made a new shoot last year, but yeah, I don't think this half of the tree will be doing very well, but this one is doing really well. So I'm going to ask the gardener who is going to take care of our walnut tree over there. I'm going to ask him what to do with this, because obviously this tree is growing asymmetrical. It's growing towards the left but not the right. So yeah, anyway, back to the point. I am going to extend this bed to where the side of the tiller is over there. Last year it was basically, yeah, to the middle of the tiller, so I'm extending it about, I would say, 20 centimeters. And then over here I'm just keeping it, this is about 1.5 meters wide, so I'm keeping it at that. This part I'm not going to extend either, because again, I'm a little bit scared for the roots of that one. So then I have to be really careful, because somewhere under here I have my my rhubarb. If it wants to focus, please. Yes, there. So yeah, it's somewhere under there, so I have to make sure that I don't till over this stick. Alright, I'm going to put in the fuel, and hopefully I'll be able to finish this today. Alright, the machine is on. Took me only 15 volts, I guess, but we got it running, so let's finish this. It's been about an hour. I just finished. I'm pretty happy with the way this bed turned out. As you can see over here, there is some, zoom in, some grass patches left, but besides that I'm quite happy. Yeah, over here I couldn't till as deep as I liked because it was a little bit muddier than I expected. But I did get this piece of the garden defined because last year this was just weeds. I didn't plant anything there, so the weeds took over. So this year I am planning on maybe putting my corn in this area right here. Not sure, but yeah, anyway, I defined it. I put some manure on it again. But so yeah, over here I couldn't really get the tiller to go in the ground because it was so wet here in the corner that a lot of mud, I'll show you, mud and grass and straw, it got stuck in between this blade over here. Here's a blade behind all of this dirt and the side blade, so I couldn't really cut into the ground. So yeah, my definition of the line over there is not as good as I would like to have it, but for now, with the wetness of the ground that we have, it's the best I can do. Tilled over here, tilled next to the rhubarb. I tilled this, and then I started tilling this as well. I made one pass up and one down. But so yeah, here as well, I think you can see pretty well that it didn't go into the ground very well. This is still mostly manure. There's some grass from the top layer of the ground that came up, but the majority of it is just still manure. It is quite a bit finer now, so it will break down faster, so there is still some advantage to it. But yeah, the best bed in my opinion is this one, because here you can also really see the difference in color between the dark brown and then the grayish brown. You see the line over there where it's really well mixed in and not so much. But so yeah, my tiller annoyed me a little bit today. As you can see over here, there are 2 bolts, and then on this side there are supposed to be 2 bolts, but these bolts were loosening themselves the whole time, making for this thing to basically, I don't know if you can see it, but it was moving the whole time. I couldn't steer properly, and I just dropped my bolt. I couldn't steer properly, and so yeah, I was a little bit annoyed with this, and then I was out of fuel. So anyway, I think I did the best I can for now, and I think this is also the last of the prep that I will do before the actual gardening season starts. I think it's looking pretty well. My beds are really well defined, so I'm quite happy with that. You can really clearly see now where I'm gonna be planting. The beds are amended. The greenhouse is also amended, and this one is properly tilled, so I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna clean up my tiller, and that's gonna be it for garden prep. And then back yeah, the beginning of March, I think, no, the beginning of April probably, I will come along again and till this again, because then it will be drier and I will be able to get deeper into the ground. So until the beginning of April, when gardening season starts, this is what the garden will look like. With that, I am going to end the video today. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I prep my garden for the season, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!